I'd wager quite a lot of coins to bet that it's probably been a long time since you've heard that tune, or anything remotely close to it. For those who don't know, or might not remember, that little tune you just heard is from Plants vs. Zombies, a game released over 12 years ago on May 5th, 2009. It was quite the hit, and looking at the decade-long franchise it spawned, that isn't much of a risky statement. The sequel to it was downloaded more than 35 million times, not to mention that EA paid more than $750 million to buy PopCap Games, the guys who made PvZ in 2013. Evident from this success, it'd be safe to say that Plants vs. Zombies took the world by storm, including me. I remember having a blast, but because of my non-existent patience of being a child, I quickly lost interest, and the world did too, albeit at a much slower pace. The game's overwhelming popularity gradually met its end, and it slowly faded out of the minds of most. Which brings us to exactly 2 weeks from today, where I decided to go into the App Store, type Plants vs. Zombies in the search bar, and download the game to play it for the very first time in almost a decade. And today, after finishing Plants vs. Zombies, I'll be talking a bit about how it went, and what I think it does really well. Right off the moment the game started, I could easily see why I fell in love with this game in the first place 10 years ago. Its oddball sense of humor made it stick out in the video game market. I mean, look at this guy, he's a literal pothead. Plus, the soundtrack, oh my god, it slaps. It's so weird but incredibly charming at the same time, and it blends chiptune and pop music so well that you might as well just have a Plants vs. Zombies genre of music. I think that's because of this kind of uniqueness that Plants vs. Zombies was able to be so successful, and it's also testament to how rewarding being original can be in the gaming industry, where I personally think originality is more or less discouraged. For example, take an annual franchise like Call of Duty. The more recent games in this franchise are literal copies of each other with fresh coat of paint. But despite this, the latest installment, Call of Duty Cold War, sold more than 5.5 million copies. And then take a game like Spiderman Miles Morales. A solid game that marginally improved from its predecessor, except this, bad Insomniac. But anyway, how many copies did it sell? 4.5 million units, a million less than Cold War. Seeing this, it kind of feels discouraging, but I think that games like Plants vs. Zombies that succeed at embracing a quirkier kind of vibe reminds us that originality is actually something you should strive for. But at the end, originality pales in comparison to what a game should ultimately be. Fun. It could be building your ever-growing empire in Minecraft, or traversing the beautiful vast world of Breath of the Wild. It's like Shigeru Miyamoto says, I think that inside every adult is the heart of a child. We just gradually convince ourselves that we have to act more like adults. And I think that the developers of Plants vs. Zombies had this in their minds, whether they were aware of it or not. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Plants vs. Zombies is not the thrill ride of a lifetime. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of tower defense games, I'm more of a platformer type guy. But I do think that Plants vs. Zombies does something that not a lot of games do today, and it's relinquishing control and letting the player just have fun. At the end of every setting, the game just lets you plan stuff down without having to worry about building up sun, when zombies are going to come in, etc, etc. And in this epic finale, where the music and the developers just say, "Frickin' man, go crazy. Zombies are just flooding in, and you somehow have to coordinate and plan where and when to use your plans, and these stupid rope zombies keep stealing my gut. Bro, give it back." It just lets go of all sensibility, and just lets you have a fun time with the plants you've collected over the past 49 levels. And at the end of the final stage, after somehow making it through this almost overwhelming level, the game hits you with just an awesome ending, in the form of a song. Overall, Plants vs. Zombies is just a great time. Probably won't have as much fun at playing it as other games, but it's fun. And at the end of the day, isn't that what it's all about? You should check it out, and who knows, maybe you'll have as much fun as me. And before I go, I just wanted to say thank you to Laura Shigihara, I hope I'm saying that right, and PopCap Games for making this game and letting me just have a fun time. Thank you, and see you guys later.
I have a scream.